Okay, show me a sign. Anne, Claire, Lizette, chapter 28. Eee! This is getting so suspenseful. Chapter 28. Has the man with the Monmouth cap come to rescue me? I look out the window, but there's no sign of him. Only a group of merry wassailers or carolers. Remember, it's around Christmas time, so they go around Christmas caroling. They're standing under an oil lamp, huddled together and singing. It must be Christmas Eve. The flame that I was keeping lit inside of me snuffs out. I survived the journey to Boston in my own filth, and I've swayed from hunger, and I've had my ears boxed in Mrs. Muffin's kitchen. I've been stripped bare and examined, but now I feel broken. Darkness grows on the edges of my vision. Wave after wave of terror sweeps over me, and I gasp for breath. My hands make signs, and I don't know what I'm saying. I am now an observer in my own body. I crawl over to the hearth rug and retch water. The fire doesn't harm me. I shake all over. Lord, why hast thou forsaken me? Could we have been wrong on the island? Are deaf mutes lower beings? I find the strength to stand and stumble toward the looking glass. Holding on to the bureau, I lean into my reflection. Whose eyes are those? The cold stare of a dead fish, lucky to be no longer wriggling on the hook. The nose squashy and too big for the sunken cheeks. The mouth, a scar. I glimpse movement behind me. It's Miss Topp. Why did she come? I make my way to the bed. I look at the small orange on my pillow and choke back tears. The first time I had an orange was last Christmas. A sailor gave it to Papa, and he gave it to me. I ate the juicy fruit slice by slice, and I kept the peel to flavor Mama's baking. Back then, an orange was like a common Christmas gift. That same night after supper, while George examined his new telescope with Mama, Papa drove me down to Ezra Brewer's house to deliver pudding that I helped Mama make. I also brought a small skein of wool as a toy for Smithy. Mama and I tied red velvet hair ribbons to give to Nancy and Miss Hammond. George had caught the goose. He had gone out hunting with Papa and Mr. Pye. The men slapped my brother on the back for bringing home the finest bird. I could nearly taste that delicious crisp skin as we ate together, after thanking our Lord for the bounty. And the next day, we brought whatever was left over to the meeting house for the less fortunate. I must spend hours lost in my memories. In the early dawn, I see Andrew leave again. Where is he going when it's still dark outside? I have to get out of here. I must communicate with Dr. Minot. I rattle my door latch, but it's locked. There's no light through the keyhole. I peer into it, and I see that the key was left on the other side of the door. I fetch the wrought iron fire poker, and I slip the map of memories beneath the door frame. I gently push the poker's pointed tip through the keyhole. Slowly, till a key drops onto the map. I hope it didn't make a sound or a loud clank. I pull the map toward me and I seize the key. It unlocks. The door unlocks easily. She is so clever. So she poked the key out. It dropped onto the map. She slid the map under the door, bringing the key with her. Oh, I'm just impressed by that. All right, where was I? I dress, and I tuck the map back into my bodice, and I creep down the staircase. And when I reach the ground floor, unfamiliar vibrations startle me. I whip around. A large clock strikes 5 o'clock. Will the chimes wake the household? The door to Dr. Minot's office is ajar. I run to the window, but I see no one. The piles of papers on the doctor's desk have been tidied up. Paper, ink, and Pounce sit beside the journal, and I start reading where I left off. Nora has canny instincts. She believed that Mary is quick and responsive, but that we shouldn't get too excited or expect too much from Mary. She may be dim-witted after all. So Miss Topp's true name is Nora. I imagine that having a child like Mary could be a burden, but still I'm curious what Andrew's agreement was with her parents. Was there some other incentive? Did he promise them a share in his fortune if he ever did make his name? Did he buy her from them? I agree with Andrew that the source of the affliction is truly mysterious. I'm not sure that I agree it's caused by an impure element on the island. It will take a lot of work to prove his conclusion. I've told him that I cannot sponsor him without more significant evidence. His outburst of anger and talk of betrayal concern me. It explains why he didn't get along at Yale. He has a hard time accepting instruction or helpful criticism. I carefully tear a page from the back of the journal. I pick up the quill pen and dip it in the inkwell. I often stumble when switching from signing to written English, but this time my words come as quickly as a rushing brook. So now this is what Mary writes. Sir, I would like to disabuse you of certain notions. I did not leave the vineyard willingly with Andrew Noble. My parents did not agree to let me travel with him. They certainly did not sell me to him as a curiosity. In my town, a girl like me is not considered a burden. You wrote of Andrew's angry outbursts, so it will not surprise you that he kidnapped me. I wish to leave and be reunited with my family. I have noticed a man outside the house. He dresses like the seaman I know on Martha's Vineyard. I'm hoping he is part of a rescue plan by vineyard residents. Whether or not you believe it, there are people who would search high and low to recover me. I need your help. Though I'm held hostage in your home, I bear no ill will against you. You have also been deceived. Thank you for sharing your daughter Amy's beautiful possessions with me. As my friend Thomas once said, the loss of a loved one is the hardest thing to bear. If you are a man of honor, I trust you will assist me. Yours truly, Mary Lambert. As soon as I stop writing, I feel the door open and slam shut. My heart pounds. The door to Dr. Minot's office opens slowly. I look for a place to hide. Dr. Minot appears. He studies me with his sharp hawk eyes. In a panic, I drop the papers and run from the room, but I don't know where to go. I freeze in the front hall. I think Dr. Minot shouts after me. If I run up the stairs, I will be trapped. My head feels light, and I feel myself fall.